Guys, I got another one. This person who's trying to run as a Democrat to be Secretary of State gave her top voting staffer secret demerits for doing a voter protection training. Ready? Where were you June 16th, 2023? Here's where I was. Doing a voter protection training for the Sherrod Brown campaign. And here is how Allison and Jordan described where I was. Quote, absent 3.59 hours with no notice, semicolon, not scheduled off. I worked on the clock that day, 9:21 a.m. to 1:22 p.m. It was a Friday. I scooted home to do this Zoom training at 2 p.m. They had notice. Jordan had been avoiding me all week. So if you recall, we got the report from the Republicans about my complaint. And at this point, a week had passed. And Jordan and Allison had not discussed it with me. Just extraordinary. Not the normal practice, not normal at all. So after my presentation to the Sherrod Brown campaign folks, I just used more of my leave and stayed home. Probably did some laundry. I wasn't going to go back downtown to the office for an hour on a Friday afternoon. And no one expected me to. Like I've told you before, Fridays are voter protection days when we're in an election cycle, kicking off early to make time for political volunteer work during an election cycle. Totally normal. We use our leave for that. Just as a reminder, we don't get paid for that. In fact, the next day was the Pride Parade, which I loosely planned to walk in with our caucus group. A volunteer activity, not paid work. And Lewis and I went downtown. We looked for the group in the parade lineup, and I don't remember if we didn't find them or if we did see them and just decided not to join. I just didn't feel like putting on a happy face and joining after a rough week. So just stay on the sidelines and registered voters. Always be registering. Some of my friends remarked about the weird numbers here. 3.59 was today's number. I'm pretty sure they meant to write, X hours and Y minutes, like 3:59 instead of 3.59. But even that's not correct. Doesn't really account for the lunch hour, and it's just weird. One of my friends mentioned that the first two numbers were 2.22 and 4.44, and that adds up to 666. Spooky. So you're probably wondering, why? Just why? Why did they do this? Why did they write this memo? And it's an important question because, you could be thinking, oh, there's got to be a reasonable explanation for this. There isn't. Not a reasonable one. But I do have extensive thoughts about their why, and I'll get into that next time. I got to go get ready for my Bad Bunny Bowl party, so I'll see you soon.